Pilar and friends. Today we have another very interesting episode for you, and I guarantee you will learn a lot. By mid-October, Europe was faced with the dreaded second wave of coronavirus infections. Leaders of various European countries were quite confused on how that happened. What was this all about? And looking back now, what could have caused the resurgence in Europe? This is something that we can probably learn from. Friends, let us welcome our Suki and expert, Dr. Brian Lim and Dr. Judith Akwal. Welcome,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Brian and Dr. Judith.
Yeah,
Thank you, and I'm glad that you could join. You could join this show. My first question, Doc. Please tell us, how do you assess the situation in Europe? The one that I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
The feared resurgence of cases, for instance, France, which had about 120,000 cases in a single week. What can you say about
Yeah,
that?
thank you, Ms. Pilar. At salamat kayo for doing all of this. No? Kami ni Judith, we treat one patient at a time, but through this program, this can literally reach thousands. No?
Oh, yes, of course.
And potentially save thousands of lives. So that's why we really value coming here and seeing you.
Wow, thank you so much for coming anyway.
And that's a very interesting and a very relevant question that you just asked. And I think that's very important that we learn from what has happened in other countries.
Exactly. That's exactly why we're talking about it.
Exactly. And then what really happened is quite disturbing but not surprising at all. No?
Why do you say that?
Yeah, because it's disturbing because Europe is one of the best centers of healthcare facilities.
Correct.
They have all the doctors, all the machines, all the high-tech treatments. And then even the centers of learning, they produce some of the best doctors in the world. Pero makulbaan bitaw na naglisod sila.
Exactly.
Despite na ingana niya.
How much more us?
Kita in town, no? Na, swerte siguro sa Cebu City, kay kanang naatay daghang type hospital yung unsa man in town sa itong mga probinsya.
Oh, correct.
So it is really very disturbing. But unsa man ang ato ang lesson ani money. When the cases went down already in Europe, ang mga tao nag-chill na. Kung ang gina, it's a classic expected human behavior.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Na ay, murag di na siguro na tinuod ang COVID. Wala naman. Okay, wala naman kung nakadungog sa balita. Zero naman ta.
Because they want to live as normally as possible.
Exactly. So that's
And
why.
enjoy life, probably.
Yes.
You know,
So
that's
people
human nature.
Yes. People seem to think that the virus is gone. No? And this really begs the question, no? It really emphasizes the point that this pandemic is a social crisis and not a clinician's problem lang. So this requires a social solution.
Correct.
So moto, number one, nag-chill ng mga tao, mag-inom na ta, mag-party na ta.
Actually, when you think about it, part of that might be also cultural. Kasi Europeans, they don't like wearing masks. Not like
that's
Asians.
also true.
Not like Asians, it's like normal.
The Westerners, they don't like
wearing a mask.
Yes.
Not
They
like
don't
for
want to
Asians.
be. They don't want to be inhibited, or they don't want to be controlled or
By, dictated.
by dictated.
Yes,
like
exactly.
What bothers me lang kay the Philippines, we don't have a mask wearing culture.
Yeah, not like
Unlike
Hong
in
Kong.
Japan, Hong Kong, na
That's
even
very common
before-
to them.
yeah,
That's part of their way of. That's their way of life there.
even di ba kung when you go there winter bugnaw,
Exactly, they wear masks. Japan, especially. Yeah.
So murag wala patayngan ng mask wearing culture, and I love this show because we have a chance to create that culture.
Exactly.
In a sense, no? So kanang moto na hitabo niya ilapod dito sa Europe, we were talking ni Judith kanina, na really the policies per area are different. Some are stricter, while some are not. So it confuses
It's not universal.
people.
Yeah, exactly. But then, how important is the mask? This is what is needed to be known by the public. How important it is.
The mask is the most important preventive measure. No? There are so many things out there na purifier, na unsay mga bululoy, pero ang mask ang pinaka-basic mo, ang pinaka-importante. And studies have already shown that there is no question already wearing a mask. It already prevents the entry point of COVID sa ilong sa
especially.
baba. Yeah, so you're protecting other people at the same time you're also protecting yourself.
But di ba din hilangin mo na protect, di ba? Ang imong nose, ang imong mouth. But how about the eyes? The virus goes to the eyes.
Yes, exactly. Also said no kay that's why na support gyud ko ang naapod tay face shields.
Yeah, okay.
Kay usahay magod na study Ma'am Pilar na in an 8-hour period, an average person will unknowingly touch the face by
Correct.
40 to 50 times.
Exactly.
Mangatol kasi mong
Oh,
mata.
labi pag yun sa mata.
Oo. So,
yes.
mo the face shield actually guards that.
Exactly.
O, at the same time, for example, na hindi ubudiri, yan na ay mga studies na ang COVID diba mo stay bitaw sa air mga 3 to 4 hours. Yan agi ka, nan imong matawag any form of protection. Pwede gyapon siya ka-enter. So, kailangan kung mugawas kita, mas kita ang face shield.
Thank you for all of your answers. That's quite informative. Dr. Judith, you have a lot of masks here. Okay, let's go through it one at a time. Like for instance, this mask. This is the ordinary type of mask.
Yes,
right?
that's the classic mask.
So, I don't know if it's classic, but it's ordinary. It's a very ordinary kind of mask.
Yes.
It's surgical. They
Yes.
call it surgical.
Yes,
Anyway, so unsa may how can this protect a person?
Yeah. So, if I may, no? So, the surgical mask is sort of the classic surgical. This has protected doctors for generations already. Right?
Basically, surgeons.
Yes, surgeons,
surgeons,
especially when we go out, no? So, kaning mask, kaning sa gawas, the colored ones, mo na siya kanang coating na waterproof,
Yeah.
no? So
waterproofing na,
yes,
waterproof.
importante kanina mask nagi di siya sa gawas ang colored. Kaya dili gyud pwede magpataka tag-wear. And if I may demonstrate, no? So the mask, when you wear this, when you put it sa imong dungga, imo ni siya isaka, imo na siyang i-clip gyud diri.
Ang katong hard part,
The hard part
na
is
diha.
here.
Ay mali din ang ako. Ang hard part ibutan ako din. So anyway, din ang hard
siya.
part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the key is dapat sealed gyud siya.
Sealed gyud siya.
Sealed, no? So kita,
Okay.
unya kani imo ni inaog para imong bakba sarado sad.
I
Okay?
see.
Now, this is the right way. This is the only way to wear a surgical mask. The right way,
The
no?
blue outside,
Blue
and the white
outside.
inside.
So ang key sa nato ani kanang never touch this area kay hugaw man assume ka na hugaw. Kung imo ning magunitan, mag-alcohol gyud ka.
Mao na gina, mao na yung problema sa uban.
Oh.
Because ang uban, we all wear the mask, right? But on the other hand, usahay magsige kag adjust sa imong
Sakto.
mask.
Sakto.
Maunay danger diha.
Correct.
Kung magsige kag adjust ana imong nya na anay virus imong kamot. So
sakto
you really
yan.
have to constantly you use alcohol.
Yeah. So mo yung mga dili maayo na pag-aware ang uban ay machika-chika nga naon nila.
Oh,
Sayop.
naa ako'y question. Mo na akong question ni katawanan.
Sige.
Mo na akong question ni
Sige,
katawanan.
oh.
Anara ko na do.
Ano.
Oh. Katawanan kaayo. Labi pag yun ang mga areas, ng mga squatter areas, kanang mga crowded areas, makatawa ko kay daghan kay kong makitaan nga mag-wear nga mask, unya dili i-wear, iana nila. Pari ba ana? Unsa man pag-protect ana nila?
Dili gyud niya.
But I see a lot of those.
Nya kuya pag yun siya mang pilar kay for example no kanang na ay COVID ni muliog na ay nigunit si muliog unsa pagbutang nimo diri imong ibalik gideliver no nimo ang COVID si mong now.
Bitaw, exactly.
Diba? Oh, so it's dangerous.
Dangerous.
So,
That's good.
another wrong thing that people do is, ingana lang. And when they talk, pwede maablig yapon.
Oh.
Di sa na maayo.
Oh.
Ang usapod is, kung luag, ilan na silang i-twist. Atong glasses.
Oh.
Ilang i-twist din sa sides.
Oh.
Na ilan na siyang i-twist.
Oh. Iana, unya.
Di na siya maayo kaya look at the side, oh.
Oh,
Hindi na siya sealed.
Exactly.
Oh.
Eksakto tong imong gisulti nga. We have to be able to, this has to be part of our culture from now on. Just like Japan.
Yes.
Kaya nga no, dinhigod, the masses in general, because of the militarization, kana na ang mga police, kana mga military or whatever, I think nagsulob lang sila mask doc tungod kay di sila gusto madakpan.
Sakto gina.
So,
Sakto
so
gina.
ang nainabo, mauna mo, wag ni police, anarasan sila.
Pang checkpoint lang.
Di ba? Pang checkpoint lang. That should be the
Dilig
case.
yun.
We have to make sure that we have to instill it in their minds that doing that could be more dangerous for them.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the police. It has nothing to do with the military.
Sakto.
It has something to do with their protection.
Yes.
Now, Doc, na ako'y question ani kaning daghan man jud kaay nini ang mga kuan diri, no? So, asa man to kay ako asthmatic manggug ko, Doc. Kanini for instance, asa naman to mao ba nito?
Yes.
Kanini ang
May
Dr.
fan.
Judy.
Yeah.
This is the mask with a fan, right?
Yes. Kay,
So, kay ako, na-notice na ko, wear ko ang mga mask na closed kaayo, dili ko maka-breathe because asthmatic ko. So, I have to have some oxygen. So, this is, can you explain that kind of a mask?
So, it has its filter inside. So, this is just the mask outside, which is made of material, but it has a motor. But the thing there is, it has its filter here. So, it filters.
Can you show the filter? This one?
Yeah, there's a
okay.
filter. So, you just, it's actually not very difficult to snap it on. And then you use
snap
it.
lang. Snap lang nimo.
But basically, it has, you have to charge all the time, the motor. But if you
Na
use
battery?
it's rechargeable.
Na
So,
siya battery.
Here, you charge it USB.
USB.
And then,
mura sa
filter-
cellphone.
Yes, murag cellphone.
Kinahanglan nimo i-charge.
And
Okay,
then, it's good for 4 hours straight. When you use it, diba, when you have to clip it, this is the part that you clip on your nose. So, when you use it, it's like a usual mask. You
And
seal
then,
it there.
yes, and then you
And
press
then-
which one?
Wait.
Anak ko na,
Yes,
show
yeah.
there.
You press this part.
And then
So,
the air will come out.
And then there are 3, like there's low, medium, or high.
Wow.
Depends
High
if you're,
high-tech kayo.
going
Wala
up
pag
the
yung high-tech.
stairs.
High-tech na ram ako.
No, you're
But
going
I
up.
will need a mask that's very high-tech.
Ah.
So, I will have to get that from you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Kunyari, you're going up the stairs.
Yeah.
Kulang na, di ba? Para if you're gonna lose breath.
Because
na.
I cannot wear a
Yeah.
mask talaga for long. So that, I really need that.
Okay.
So let's go to the other types of masks. This one is also like the blue, right?
Yes.
This is the same, more or less. How about this one? Can I see that? That is a very unusual looking.
Yes.
Mura siya speaker sa radyo or whatever. How do you go about this type of a mask?
Okay. This is
Wala
the...
mong i-wear, Doc?
Yeah, similar.
Puti lang ako.
Can you show me the
See?
use of that?
Ay, sure. So, again, Ma'am Pil, thank you for doing this, no? Kay, nalipay ko si mong istorya na asthmatic ka, nalisod ka og mask, kung nangitag yan mo kag paraan para makakomply.
Exactly.
And I think that's really a testament that you care for other people as well, no?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think that should be emulated.
That should be everyone's mentality.
That should be everyone's
It should be
mentality.
of
That we need to
everyone.
take care of each other. So, kani siya na mask, ang ginahan ko, this is my favorite because number 1, na-ashay ka ng murag rubber diri. Kaya ako ang ilong, di mo ko Amerikano, mampila, si mampila, kanindot makasyag ilong niya. Gamay flat mo niya kung ilong yun mo, nagyanas Ginoo. So, kanang,
mafit na
sige mo ito nag-ana-ana ba niya? Kung baan matakay, kung mag-rounds ka niya, mag-ana, bit-round niya. So, kanang, ginahan ko ano niya kay rubber gid siya niya, mo seal gid sa imong
Musil siya, mura siya, muhaong yun
mo ana gid siya niya, pero dili siya kanang uncomfortable na katul, kasi katulan masag ko kanang fiber. So, and what I like about it, when you open this, you can actually replace the filter. Oo, so, kung man imo na ilabay, so ma-reuse nimo siya, dili nimo siya ma-disinfect.
Yeah, imo pag yung ma-wash, kay plastic man.
Yeah, ako yung nag-iwash, alcohol na ko na siya, no? So, how I wear it, it's just so simple.
Or, had soap and water.
Yes, imo na siya i-seal, imo na siya i-bitarong din, then you're done. And it's very simple.
How much does that cost?
I don't know.
5,000.
Mga
Mahal na siya. The same protection as the medical masks na N95, but it's probably mas baga siya.
Mas baga.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I've seen that.
Kasi if you use this, covered man tanan.
Covered.
Diba?
Correct.
So, if they
actually, mas nindot siya, mas aom siya sa imong law.
And then,
definitely. Better than this.
yes. And then, if kikay sila, ganahan sila magbutang design, ganahan sila maglagay ng mga
yeah, this is really good. Kay mo fit yun sa imong naong,
Sa
no?
naong
Oh,
nila.
musil yun siya tanawa, oh.
And
how much do you think that is, Dr. Ra? More or less. Affordable ba?
Daghan barato
Daghan ng barato.
Mga more or less. Give me an idea.
Mga 20 pesos.
Maango ba?
Daghan na.
Kay kanitag 10 pesos naman, no?
yeah.
Okay,
So,
affordable
more,
din.
pero mas dugay nila magamit compared to
Na
that
ko
one.
ihatag i-share kay di ba mahalon man ang mga mask. No? How do you recycle para dili sad ka mahugdag kwarta, di ba? Kay so ang ako lang kaning mga mask is kung dili kani washable, do not wash kay maguba iyang filter.
Correct.
Kay uban ila man na ibutang sa
Kini washable ni siya.
dili sa.
Dili sad.
So what I do kay ang COVID can will just die on surfaces after 3 to 5 days. Right? So, ang gibuhat
Butang sa init?
Dili sad, ang gibuhat na mo, for example, katong time na gamay pa kay ang mga mask, na ako'y 7 ka mask, unya, Monday to Sunday. So, I wear this on a Monday, and I just let it hang, and then wear it the next Monday.
May
Because COVID would just die anyways. So
but that makes sense. That makes sense.
Rather than reusing it the next day, might as well just leave it there, wait for another week before you would reuse it.
Pero Doc, naman ko'y nabatian nga airborne kuno ang COVID.
Ay, nindot kinapamutan na. Ang sila to anak Ma'am Pilar kay ato ni i-differentiate no na amagay ko ana musturya ta na ordinaryo droplets ang atong gi-generate kanang halakak kanang showering kay musturya halakak so kanya karaoke
pareha na to halakak kayo.
Lagi na mo na mask. So yung anak
I can imagine when you laugh though.
Sorry ka ba?
So kung kusog katawa nya napoy ka na nga mga mo nebulize ka ing ana ang kanang mga droplet, gamay yung particles, so it can go farther than 6 feet.
Oh, really?
Oo. So, mo nagitawag na
6 feet? Okay.
Mo nagitawag na itong aerosolize. Pwede siya mag-aerosolize.
Oo.
Unya, ang latest study kayo mga Pilar na in an enclosed space like in a van, no? Nya, daghang kay tao, ang muna importante, ablihan yun na ang bintana.
So, musakay kang taxi, for instance, you don't have a car. Ablihan yun ang bintana. Or Grab, di ba? Ablihan yun ang bintana.
Open the window. Kay di magugakaybaw na you don't know kung na passenger ni sakay din na before you.
Correct.
Nag-ubo na dito siya, wakakaybaw.
Exactly.
Sulod ka, inhale pa na. So,
but does it stick? Does the virus stick to the plastic or to the rubber or to the leather?
Excellent question, yes.
It does.
So, they can stay on the surfaces for quite a while. Depending on
What
the surface.
do you mean by for quite a while?
Okay,
Like,
for plastic, Ma'am Pilar, around 3 to 5 days.
wow.
It can stay there.
It can stay there. How about paper?
Paper,
Kaya kanara bang mga delivery boys?
Yes.
Kanapit ang mag-deliver ang mga pagkaon?
Yes.
Kanara bang yun na nilang paper? It can also stay there?
Same. Mga ingana, mga 3 to 6 days, mga ingana. Roughly less than a week, but ingana. So, ang mga yung advice, anak, magdasada-lasada ka ng mga online shopping, di ba? So, kung dili ito perishable, I don't open my deliveries. Example, mapadeliver ko. I just leave it there
but
for the
what can
next
you
how
say?
many days.
Because now ko nabatian ba sa, I think what was over TV or radio ba to ako nabatian nga. I think kanana mga delivery people ba? Mag-deliver mga pagkaon or whatever. Nga kinahanglan sana sila matest, no?
Agree. I agree with you. And the good thing about here in Cebu, daghan na testing sites.
Companies should be required. So, mas grabe na yun na karon nga demand sa, requirement sa mga companies, di ba? Labi pa ng mga companies karon na bankrupt na ng uban niya magpa-test pa in town sila mga delivery
sa ato
people.
mga Pilar kanang sa Cebu free man siya.
Free ba?
Free siya.
Unsa may free swab test or
the PCR test is free.
also?
Yes.
Asa?
Sa Soto, sa
Free?
DOH Region 7,
Yeah.
yes.
Really?
Drive-through pa gani sa Soto.
Drive-through sa Soto.
Magpa-schedule lang ka, mangangarak ka. Di ilan
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was just the the other test, the rapid test that's free
No,
in the
even the
government.
PCR. And
Even the PCR.
yeah, that's why I'm quite proud of Cebu City because
But that doesn't
daghan
happen
na
in Manila. In Manila, there's nothing free.
in some areas,
I think
depending sa
probably
local
the government hospital.
Yeah, but for private hospitals, Ma'am Pilar, they do charge.
I charge.
Yeah, but for
Pero sa mga government hospitals.
Government
yeah,
is free.
oo.
Ah,
And then
I
it's
see.
already part of the expanded testing strategy of the Department of Health. Na kaning mga they're also called frontliners since they interact with people. Oo.
Okay. Well, my other question, Doc, is if it's true that Europe had, of course, it's true that Europe had a second wave. If, let's say, for instance, that happens to us, that of course will be much more
Yes.
difficult for people like you, right?
Yes.
For the frontliners, for the doctors, etc.,
Yes.
etc. So how are we? We're talking about all these masks and all this. How do you think we can, aside from this, how do you think we can avoid all of this second wave?
I'm kinda particularly scared for Christmas since in Europe even the second surge is actually ang outbreak epicenters nila kay mga gatherings. Birthdays, reunions, kay work.
Mga bitaw na nang imbitar na kong birthday karong Thursday niya. 10 people. How do I know? Di ba? Bisan pag 10 people na, di ba?
Exactly. So, kung
Isa gamay lang ba? You'll never know.
so na gatherings, Miss Pilar, mas maigi na sa gawas.
Open air.
Open air.
So that's good. That's good for them to
okay.
know. It's
Yeah.
better if it's open air.
It's open air.
I'm gonna give that suggestion to this friend of
Oh,
mine who's having a birthday on
yes.
Thursday.
Yeah, you're right with your question, Pilar. I'm actually worried na mahitabo siya during this time. Kay rainy season, manggod.
Oh, rainy season, and not only
dengue,
that,
high leptospirosis, and all the
and
other.
all it's Christmas season, and everyone wants to celebrate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now, in fairness to our local governments, they are preparing for that, no? Sa una na alatay 5 contact tracing teams ang Cebu City. Karon 135 na. Before we even ang mga capacity sa mga hospitals, including the private hospitals, gi-improve na pod. Before ato ang PCR nato nakatong sa swab, usara sa Soto, karon we have 8 PCR labs in entire Cebu City. So, in a sense, we are doing our best to prepare. But why worry is kung mag-second surge ta, na ang magulaing pang sakit na dili ra COVID. Ya kung mag-second surge
It could be worse.
Okay, ang worry na ko kay katong sa first surge bitaw Pilar, ang mga pasyente na heart failure, diabetes, nawa na bitaw sila, hain naman ni sila. Because nahadlok na hinuon sila mo adto sa ospital.
Correct.
So kung mag-second surge ta niya, limited ato ang facilities, ang maapektuhan gid ani katong mga dili COVID.
Correct.
Na muna ako ang the deaths will be even more. Na ingon lagi nila ang pandemic na may 3 waves. The first wave of deaths is from the disease itself. Okay?
The disease
Di pa man
itself.
takribaw,
Yes.
sana siya. Then later on, ang second wave are the non-COVID cases. Kaya mahadlok naman sila musud sa hospital. Now, the third wave of death is mental health. Suicide, depression.
daghang kayo suicide karon. As a matter of fact, wow, this is something that we really need to talk
It's
about one of
really-
these days.
it's
The
really-
suicide because of COVID. We haven't talked about that yet,
Yes,
but
mental
that's another topic.
Yeah.
So, anyway, another question, Doc, is na may nagistorya nako. Kinsa ba to? I have heard anyway that if you, for instance, in Malapascua Island, where I have my place, I have a resort there. We don't have COVID cases there in
Wonderful.
the island. It's I came
love
from
it.
there, and I've stayed there for 6 to 7 months already since lockdown.
Wonderful.
Don't you think that's great?
Wonderful.
That is good, right? Anyway, God knows I'm asthmatic, so I have to be in a COVID-free
Exactly.
place. Now, anyway, kana ko nung init kayo, if it's really hot, there's going to be less COVID cases than the places that are cold. What do you say about that?
Okay, that's interesting. The reason why there are more cases with that observation is because when it's cold, people tend to gather together.
Closer.
Together, stay indoors.
Yeah,
And
that's,
indoors.
That's why winter during the influenza pandemic, it got worse during winter because people tend to be close together.
Yeah.
So, muna ang reason, not because the heat killed the virus, no.
No, it's not because
No,
of that.
it's not. Kasi kung init lang yun, wala ditatay. Init ba is Pilipinas, no?
Yeah, it's not
Oo.
the heat naman.
Yeah.
Summer,
Yes.
in South America, they still have
Oo,
a lot.
nakita po nila Pilar na the humidity also affects how extensive the spread is. Kaya kung humid ta, atong mga droplet, heavy po sila. So, manaog mo, mabugat na sila mahog. Pero kung dry ang imong air, mas layo ilang travel, no? Oo. So, muna siya.
Okay, so which brings us, you still believe that mask is a real must, right?
Yes.
So, we already spoke about that it is really a must, diba? How about this glamorous ones?
Oh, go.
Ano yung mga glamorous ones? Because I noticed even my makeup artist was wearing a very glamorous mask one time, and it really looked good.
Yeah.
My mga sequence and everything, you know. And so, how effective is that?
Okay. So, as long as you don't damage the filtering system, it's alright, no? Ako, if you want to make it kika, if you want to accessorize it, why not? Go ahead. We can actually make mask wearing quite fun. That's why my friend should be it is
Mask wearing can be fashionable.
Yes.
Kaya ba ka mga Pilipino,
Oh.
di man sila parehas mga Hapon nga basic ra gyud ilang mask, di ba? Ang mga Pilipino gusto man gyud uso, di ba? They really are very fashionable people.
Yes.
So they want fashion even with their masks.
Yes, go
And I
ahead.
think that's very creative, as long as you said
Yeah.
that the filter is intact and
Yes.
everything is in, it protects you and the filter is intact. And as long as you can breathe,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it's
I mean, you cannot be wearing all of this if you cannot breathe,
Yes.
right? So
Actually,
anyway,
the bottom line is that they wear a mask.
That's
diba?
right.
Kasi, actually, I was just saying a while ago to you, much as we recommend the surgical mask for some people, The thing there is, it's not a very comfortable mask. And this is why I have all these different masks. Because
Can you, we will take a shot of these different types of masks.
It started when my father kasi got sick.
Okay.
So,
I noticed you have a collection of masks.
Yeah, because when he got cancer, he needs to always wear a mask. But being slightly vain, and he doesn't feel comfortable with the surgical mask, it was from him. Like for guys, he preferred the mask like this. Even if it's actually just for dust. When you think about it, for guys, it looks better. But it's from Japan. It's really just for dust.
It's just for dust.
But it will still protect you. Diba? If you go out, if it's black. Diba? For guys, they prefer something black. Like
I find that very classic.
This one, diba? It still hugs your face.
But it can be also for COVID. Even if
this one is more for COVID. This other one is for dust.
Okay.
But it would still, in the end of the day, it's still better than nothing. Even if you're saying it's for dust. It's better than not wearing anything at all.
That's nice.
There is also this option to use what's called the Air Queen.
Air Queen?
Yeah, it's being sold online, and some people here, they're businessmen who sell it. It's made in Korea.
Okay.
Now, compared to the others, it can be reusable. Because you can spray it with alcohol. It recommends to wash it, but I would recommend not to. Just spray it with alcohol, hang it, and you can use it around at least 4 or 5 times after spraying.
So is that reasonable? I mean, the price?
It's around 100, 120.
That's
when you
reasonable enough.
think about it, rather than buying so many different masks, and the fibers might give you allergies, better get something that's not so allergenic. So this one, when you use it, it really
especially
covers,
now at this time, there's a lot of allergies coming out.
So it really covers everything.
Rainy season.
Yes.
Okay. Since we were already anyway discussing all the medyo high-tech masks.
How about that? This one?
Yeah, this one.
Wow, this one. This looks very clinical to me.
It actually has the option to just put it on the side of any of the masks. It's just that when I use it, it's easier. It seals it already inside an N95. So you use your N95, and then this one has a motor. You just turn it on,
and then
you hear there's air.
Yeah.
So if you feel there's air coming out, and then it has 3 speeds, so it can even be very
so the
high.
air comes out here.
So if you go around, you're walking, you feel like there's aircon inside. Actually, it's even recommended for some people. They like walking exercises.
Yes, or
some people are even saying asthmatic people. So when you're using it,
or people who have heart illness.
you don't lack air kasi there's air coming inside your mask. And then you just hang it on the side. It just looks funny. You look like
an alien.
You look like an alien. You look like an elephant, or what else do they say? You look like you're
doctors
sick.
use that too.
Yes. During operations, ma'am. Long surgeries.
Long surgery. So because there's air, there's oxygen.
Yeah, it's because
that's right.
I think in the beginning, a lot of people were hoarding this kind, the N95, but they try to say to reserve it for medical practitioners so that the general public don't need to use this to just be protected from COVID.
Right.
Actually, any of the masks will protect you.
And
you don't have to specifically get the medical grade.
Right. So anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Judith and Dr. Judith and Dr. Brian. We truly appreciate this expert information that you have shared with us today. And the fact that you really have come over to join me.
Sure.
And thank you so much
It's our
for your
pleasure.
time and for your expertise. Would you really have an important reminder for all of us viewers? Doc?
Yeah, so my reminder is...
Age first before beauty.
Okay.
So anyway, Doc, go ahead.
The virus is still here. No? So we need to continue all the preventive measures. Please wear your mask, your face shields, social distancing, and still wash your hands. Very basic, but they save lives. No?
Okay. How about you, Doctor?
Well, at the end of the day, wearing a mask does not have to be something very dreary. So we can have fun wearing masks. So it's a reminder to everybody to just wear a mask.
So, there you go. Let us remember all of this and all the doctor's orders. And thank you very much, Dr. Brian and Dr. Judith. Thank you for such an assurance. It is always a pleasure to have you in the program. Lalong-lalo na si Dr. Brian, sukin na namin siya. So friends, we hope that you enjoyed our masquerade. Please don't forget to be very careful. Do not be overconfident because the virus is still here. It has not disappeared. And we must just pray very hard that this virus will go. Harder, pray harder. Let me share with you this important verse found in Romans 5, verse 3 to 5. More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Have a great week ahead, my friends. God bless.